Hello everyone, and welcome to another library tutorial. My name is Charles Onjala, and today we're going to learn about Mendeley. This is a referencing and citation tool manager. It is going to make your life around APA 7th edition and any other style of referencing and citation that you want to work around a walk in the park. So today we are going to do a two-part kind of tutorial. We are going to learn the technical bit of Mendeley, how to download, install, connect, make sure that you're signed in across all the devices. We're going to talk about the relevant tools and plugins that you need to have. And then we are going to run another tutorial on which is going to be a sequel of this, teaching you how to import documents and then doing physical, practical tutorial on Microsoft Word. So let's get this started. The link that you need to be ready with is www.mendeley.com. That is the page that I'm currently on right now. And you can go ahead and create a free account, use your institutional email. We recommend that, or you can also use your personal email just for ease of retrieval. At the end of it, you should be able to download Mendeley to your computer. And I'll also recommend that if you're really someone who uses online citations, make sure you are signed in on your Mendeley web, so that if you're going to cite documents on the email on your website as you go along, you're still also able to download that. So I'm going to sign in with my Mendeley account, the one that I use to connect material and connect my desktop. So here we go. And this is just going to be able to make me synchronize everything across all my Mendeley documents, all my Mendeley applications. So if I'm working online, I am signed in, you can see Charles Onjala is signed in. Anything that I'm going to cite online is automatically going to be synced to my offline library, and I'm going to show you that. Remember, I also talked about having to download the desktop for Mendeley. Now I'm using Windows. By default, it is giving me the Windows version. Remember, this cuts across Mac and Linux as well. Now, when you download your application, this is what you're expected to have now. After installing Mendeley, installation is very simple. The download file, just accept all the positive instructions. Next, accept all the terms and conditions and agree. You're going to now get the interface that you're seeing on my computer on your Mendeley application desktop. Next thing is that we would like for you to go to the tools on the top left menu and install the Microsoft Word plugin. For that to happen, you need to have closed down all your Microsoft Word running applications so that Mendeley will be able to install the Word plugin. I'm going to show you how the Word plugin will look on Mendeley, and this is what is going to be necessary for you to cite documents from Microsoft Word. So when you get to Word, your default tab should be the Home tab. But now when you go to the References tab, you should have the Mendeley citation plugin as you're seeing there. The Insert Citation, Undo, Refresh, Open Mendeley. And the style by default is the American Psychological Association. If your Microsoft Word is up to date, you should be having the 7th edition. If you're having the 6th edition, just go ahead and update your Microsoft Word. Now, that's one thing that you needed to have done from the tools, installing the Microsoft Word plugin. The other very important thing is to install the web importer. And how this is going to be relevant is that when you're working from the internet, my browser that I'm using right now is Microsoft Edge. You can see here, I have the Mendeley importer. So if, for example, I am working and I am signed in, remember, I'm signed in as Charles Onjala on my web. So if I'm on Google Scholar, for example, and I'm searching for, let's say, musical therapy, I'm looking at papers around musical therapy as my keyword, and I retrieve my results. Let's say I custom the range from since 2017, and all these search tips and tricks. Make sure you see our other tutorial on how to create your search, how to have keywords, etc. That's all covered there. So I'm just going to randomly pick a paper like musical keywords of melancholy and mania in Shakespeare. If I am using this paper and I like to cite it just from the web importer, I'm just going to, okay, let me accept all the cookies and click on Mendeley Web Importer. See how Mendeley is going to help us here. I consent the use of data. Sign into Mendeley, or it seems it did not pick my other site. Sign in. So if it prompts you to sign in again, remember the details that you used to create your free account on www.mendeley.com are the same details. So there we go, I am signed in. And this paper is on Mirror Up to Shakespeare Musical Cures of Melancholy. So if I just check that and I add it to Mendeley, it's going to be added to my account. And when I go to my desktop application here, and I click on this sync button, it's going to synchronize whatever I have just gotten from Microsoft Edge, which was Musical Cures of Melancholy. It has come as a citation in my desktop app. So that is basically how you use the web importer. It's a very important tool. Sometimes you're coming across material on the internet that you just want to cite as you go. Make sure that is up and running. And so even if you are, for example, on Taylor and Francis, you know, from the databases that we have on the magic link, library.usiu.ac.ke, maybe you pick a database like Taylor and Francis, and it comes up around there. Maybe let's try and just simulate another musical therapy keyword search. See what Taylor and Francis has to do with this. And perhaps for this example, I'm not keen on, you know, getting the web importer to use. I just want to get an actual paper, let's say like music therapy and interactive musical media in the future, reflections of the subject-object orientation in interaction. If I pick this article and I want to do a citation on it, with Mendeley, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to come and download the citation for that by clicking on this option here. And every academic database will give you an option of how you're going to download a citation. So for this, we are having a format here, an RIS. This format is going to work for ProCite, Reference Manager, and not ProCite, and most other reference management software. So this is where Mendeley falls. Otherwise, you can have deep text and refox. These are also like cousins to Mendeley. So if I choose the RIS, which is like the default format, and I download the citation, it's going to give me a file, Taylor and Francis. So this file, let me show it in the folder, is just going to be in my downloads, and I can open Mendeley, create a folder, which is very important. Now let's call this folder musical therapy. This is the folder that we are using to cite our work for musical therapy. I create a folder and I want to add whatever I have downloaded from Taylor and Francis, which is here, into the folder. So I'll just pick it, drag and drop it there, and we are good to go. So that is another way, you know, you can import your material from an academic database into a folder in Mendeley called musical therapy. The last thing that I'm going to share with you is how we can actually get a full document, you know, from Microsoft Word, from Taylor and Francis. I'll just be using this as a dummy for our research work. So let me show you the last trick on how you can get material into Mendeley. Maybe you want an article that you'll be referring to most often. So because this, actually the title says recurring similarity. So let's hope that this is going to be a journal article that is going to be recurring. I'll go ahead and get the PDF, download that PDF to our Mendeley desktop application, and then save it there for our use in the future. So where are you? There you go. Get that PDF. Again, remember, we are just learning the tips and tricks. This is the technical bit before we get to the actual writing. This is just how you're going to save your material. This is how you're going to link Mendeley to Google Scholar, to the web importer. So let's say this is musical therapy paper 1. It's important, remember, as researchers, to be able to know how you're filing, how you are arranging material in folders, where what goes, so that you don't have to come to the end of everything you're doing and you can't remember where a particular very important article went. So I'm waiting for that to finish downloading while I go back to my Mendeley desktop. It's very important to create folders. So we are now dealing with the folder called musical therapy. Let's see whether this has finished downloading. It should be. Not yet. See a download file. What could the matter be? Oh dear. Okay. So let me check that one again. The downloads. Yeah, it's done. I will just drag and drop. That is a very simple trick. If you want to be sophisticated around it, you can go to the folder, right click, say add files, and then go to your downloads folder where we have done the download of the just finished article on musical therapy paper 1. So I can just pick that, open it. It is going to be brought into the folder in Mendeley. Or if right-clicking, adding files is a lengthy process for you, you can just minimize both screens, have Mendeley to one side, have Windows Explorer to the other side, drag and drop. So if I go to this particular document, I can see the bibliographic details for citing on the right side menu, and I can double click on the PDF. This only works because this is a PDF and I brought in the whole article, not just the reference. So I can look through the article. If it makes sense to me, then this is the one that I'm going to even, for example, do a direct citation. All that we're going to talk about in our next tutorial. But as of today, I just wanted you to know that you can get the tools, link them with Microsoft Word. You can go to your browser, as we did on Microsoft Edge, have your Mendeley web importer, for the papers which you don't want to do a full download, or which are not even going to allow you to do a full download. Simply synchronize them to your desktop app in Mendeley, and you're home and dry. In case you have any questions so far, be sure to link with us on the Ask a Librarian at usiu.ac.ke. Send us an email there. We will be very quick to respond. You can message us on WhatsApp. The number is +254 782 620858. And you can also go to library.usiu.ac.ke, chat with a librarian by locating that chat widget, and we'll be sure to get back to you within work hours and have a live interaction. I hope that has made sense so far. See you on the next tutorial, and I hope that you get to put this in practice.